Emilia, the title of this show, and I'm glad we're doing this one, is called What to Do Now.
Yeah. So Jason, why are we doing a show called What to Do Now? What's going on?
Well, I think it's important to recognize that we are hardwired to fight or flight. That is the way that our brain works. And when scary things happen, when turmoil hits, when there's some uncertainty, our brain wants to immediately go into this fight or flight mode. And that fight or flight mode can be really good. And sometimes, I mean, if you're out hiking and you come across a bear, well, there's good reason that we have fight or flight built into our brain. Unfortunately, though, fight or flight can cause us to do some weird things in times of stress, in times of turmoil, like going out and buying all of the toilet paper at Costco. I mean, that's an interesting response. I'm not saying it's a wrong response, because obviously people are concerned about being in their homes for a long period of time, and they want to be prepared. They want to be prepared, which I totally get. But sometimes that fight or flight can make us make decisions about our money that are not always the best. In fact, there's been a lot of research done about that. So knowing that our brain is working against us when it comes to our investing, the question becomes, what do we do now? We're experiencing extreme volatility in the stock market. And so we just want to make sure that we're not just ignoring it. We're not just burying our head in the sand. We're not pretending like nothing's wrong, but we're taking the appropriate steps. And the appropriate steps, in my opinion, always start by having a really good plan. Now, that being said, Emilia, I wanted to share with you, I came across a couple of quotes that I think are really appropriate for today about worry. The first one says, "Worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength." And the second one is the one that I think can really help people and really speaks to this show, What to Do Now. Instead of worrying about what you cannot control, shift your energy to what you can create. And that's what we're going to be talking about in today's show.
That's great. Some nice quotes to think of. All right, Jason. So what are we going to do? What is it that we're going to do here at Parker Financial to help?
Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of people around the country are struggling with the same thing. You know, we are all going to have to wake up 6 months, 9 months from now, and we're going to have to say, who did we become as a result of this financial turmoil, this financial crisis? And so, you know, I know at our church they have an opportunity to opt in to raise your hand and say, I'm somebody that either needs help or I'm somebody that can help. And so it's nice that people are starting to organize, and this is what's going to happen is people are going to start organizing and saying who are the people that are capable of helping right now, and who are the people that need help, and we need to identify that as a community and come together. But with Parker Financial, I've been thinking especially, how do we respond to this crisis? How can we help people sleep better at night? How can we get them through some of this turmoil? And we're going to do something totally radical. I don't know how many people we're going to be able to do this for, but I know how big of an impact the planning has on people's lives. And so we are going to step up by doing some one-on-one planning for people in their specific situation. We're going to do it complimentary. Wow. Yeah, so we're going to help people. We're going to take them through this process. We've taken so many people through. A lot of people have paid us a lot of money, but these first couple of meetings, this first assessment, if you will, when people just have a better understanding, clearer picture of what their situation looks like, I think they're going to be a lot better. And so if we can step in and just help as many people as possible, if we can give them the peace of mind about their money and just help them understand what's going on, then it's going to free up their mind to go do this other important work, which is serving people in our communities. So I'm excited about it. I'm a little bit nervous about it. So we've got some qualifiers, but I do want to talk a little bit about the planning that we do for people.
Yeah. So Jason, will people have to come into the office for these meetings that we're offering?
You know, that's one of the things. It's one of the reasons I felt like we could respond the way that we do, because for the last several years now, we've been working with people all over the country, and we do these digital meetings. We've got a couple different platforms, but the one that seems easiest for most people is the Zoom platform. So we've already been doing this. We already have all of the structure in place. We're not having to figure out how to work with people remotely. It's very easy. It's very friendly. And so that because we already have those systems in place, I just feel that now is a time for us to really roll this thing out. Now, of course, we've got a team of people here. So between some people will be meeting with me, some people will be meeting with our lead advisor, Greg. But in order to help as many people as we can, we're just going to divide and conquer, and we're gonna just do as much work as we can during this time. I just really feel like that's going to make an impact in people's lives.
Yeah, that's great. So would you like to share where those opportunities are going to take, what time, what date these opportunities are going to take place? Or?
Oh, yeah. So, well, there's a little bit of a qualifier here, because if we just open up the phone lines and say everybody that calls us can get in, then I want people to have to do a little bit of work before they join us so that they know what to expect. So the way that we're going to do this, if they want to have one of these complimentary meetings to help build a year-by-year cash flow plan, we're just asking that they come to a webinar first. And so we've got 2 webinars specifically for folks. The first one is Wednesday, March 18th. It's going to be in the afternoon. And then we're going to do one on Saturday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And so people can sign up for those webinars at soundretirementplanning.com over on the right-hand side. Watch the webinar. What's going to happen is at the end of the webinar, once people understand the planning process and they understand what they need to get ready for that process, then we will send them a link to the calendar to schedule their first meeting. But I want them to go through that webinar first. I don't want people just calling us if they haven't done a little bit of homework up front. So I figure that will help us figure out who's really serious about this versus who's just kind of operating out of panic mode. And so, yeah, 2 webinars coming up to help explain to people what the process looks like, what it means to have a good, sound retirement plan, what it means to create a year-by-year cash flow plan. And hopefully we can just help put some people's minds to ease, because there's a lot of people out there that are in really good shape. They're in really good condition, but they just don't know it. Yeah. And something changes, because I see people's bodies change when I'm sitting with them one-on-one, and I see their shoulders relax, and I see them breathe a little bit easier. And so we can help. Now, some people it might show them that they're not in the best spot, but it's better to know that sooner than later. Yeah. And so whether it's good news or bad news, well, don't shoot the messenger. We're just here to help people understand.
So, wow, Jason, it sounds like a great opportunity, but it also sounds like a lot of work. So what is involved in all this?
Yeah, so just at a high level, what people should expect when we take them through this process is that the first thing we're going to help people understand, and this is really designed for people that are right on the cusp of getting ready for retirement. So I'd say people within 5 years, maybe people that are within 2 years, where the decisions they're making are so important right now. If you're 35, 45 years old, you still have a long time horizon ahead of you. Hopefully they're in a position where they've got a good employment. They're going to be able to continue to work through this. They're going to be able to continue to contribute to their retirement accounts, their dollar cost averaging. So I would say this specific planning opportunity is really not for the person that's 35, because they've got a long time horizon to recover from a short-term blip. But who we're really trying to help here are the people within 5 years of retirement, people that are getting ready to retire next year. I mean, it's right on the horizon. We need to get this dialed in. So what we're going to do is, first thing is, retirement's all about cash flow. We're going to help understand Social Security. What's the best claiming option for them? Should they start it at 62? Should they start it at full retirement age? Should they wait till 70? We have to do the analysis to know. The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to help understand how much do you spend. What's your budget? How much money do you need coming in every month in order to make the numbers work? We're going to start building what I call a year-by-year cash flow plan, Emilia. And part of that is we have to make some assumptions about inflation. So based on what we know about historical inflation, we're going to start projecting out into the future how your spending is going to have to increase over time to keep pace with inflation on some expenses. Some expenses may not go up with inflation and may go away altogether. So we need to take that into consideration. We're going to help, by going through this process, it's going to help answer the question of, have we saved enough? Are we going to be okay? And again, when people have that peace of mind, that's when they can get their mind off of this economic turmoil, and they can start focusing their mind on the things that are really most important, which is the people and the relationships. And so I'm excited to get to meet a lot of people and help them with this. I'm also a little bit nervous about it, as you maybe hear a little bit of reluctance in my voice, because I just know how many people are downloading the show, and I know how many people would like to have a good plan that don't currently have a good plan. And so that's why we got to have a little bit of a qualifier to get them through the webinars first.